Marc Marquez teaming up with Ducati was something nobody saw coming. But now, it's rewriting the MotoGP story. As we hit the midpoint of the 2025 season, what once looked like a gamble has turned into pure dominance. But this isn't just about Marquez being a genius on the bike. It's also about how one bold move uncovered years of Ducati shortcomings and flipped the balance of power in MotoGP. Ducati had the tools for years: massive horsepower, crazy top speed, cutting-edge ride height tech, and more rider talent than any other team. Still, they could never quite take down Marc Marquez. Now, it all makes sense. After Marquez clinched his 5th win in a row at Brno, his 8th victory in just 12 races this year, Ducati's general manager Gigi made a surprisingly honest comment. Right there in the paddock, he looked at Marquez and said, "Anyway, I already knew that, but now I understand better why we've struggled to win a championship so far against you." It was a telling moment, not just about how Gigi sees Marquez now, but also about where Ducati kept falling short. For years, Ducati threw everything they had at beating him. They signed Andrea Dovizioso, Jorge Lorenzo, and later put their hopes on Pecco Bagnaia, but none of it worked. Now that Marquez is racing for them, it's clear. They didn't lose because of the bike, they lost because of the rider. That turning point came in 2023. Tired of how things were going with Honda, Marquez made a shocking move. He walked away and chose a seat with Gresini's satellite Ducati team instead of chasing a spot on the factory squad. That choice came at a cost, mostly for Fabio Di Giannantonio. The young Italian had just bought a new house, thinking his place on the grid was safe. Suddenly, he was left out. His manager, Diego Tavano, said it felt like being stranded. But Di Giannantonio didn't give up. He fought back, grabbed a breakout podium at Phillip Island, and shocked everyone with his first win in Qatar. It saved his career. He secured a ride with VR46 for 2025, and funny enough, he'll be on the same spec Ducati as Marquez. Later, Di Giannantonio opened up about what that time was like. "I'm really stubborn. I always try to bet on myself, to give myself an extra challenge. I was in limbo back then. I could have played it safe and skipped buying the house. Even Diego warned me. But I liked that house, and I told myself I'll buy it and I'll figure it out. I can't say that's why I won, but maybe it helped." Now, as the summer break begins, Di Giannantonio is sitting 5th in the standings, and there's already talk that Ducati might see him as a possible factory teammate for Marquez by 2027. That's how quickly things shift in MotoGP. Brno was supposed to be where Ducati finally felt the heat, not just from Marquez's competition, but from the challenge of the track itself. The resurfaced, ultra-grippy Brno circuit had been off the calendar for 5 years, and when it came back, it shook things up. Ducati's usual edge in data was gone, and the weaknesses of the GP25 were laid bare. Pecco Bagnaia was straightforward in his take. "Marc made a huge difference compared to the rest," he said. "I worked hard to close the gap, but he was the one making the difference." This time, it's true, our bike wasn't the best. He was. But it wasn't just Pecco who struggled. Di Giannantonio couldn't recover after getting pushed back through the field, and Alex Marquez made some rare mistakes trying to pass Juan Mir. Normally, Ducati's strength lies in their data-heavy lineup, but at Brno, they looked lost, except for one man. Marquez explained that the high-grip surface caused the rear tyre to push the front a lot, and admitted the team didn't have time to figure out a proper fix. His answer: the rider has to adapt, and that's exactly what he did. While Ducati's factory squad scrambled for answers, Marquez went out and secured another double win. That makes 8 Grand Prix wins out of 12 so far, plus 11 sprint victories. He now holds a massive 120-point lead in the standings over his own brother Alex Marquez. Bagnaia, meanwhile, is trailing by 168 points. Only once this season has Marquez been beaten in a dry Grand Prix without crashing, and that was at Silverstone, where he still managed to finish third after being down in 9th on lap 4. Marco Bezzecchi won that race, one of the very few moments in 2025 when Marc didn't look unbeatable. He did crash out while leading in Austin, finished 12th at Jerez after an early fall, and got passed by Johan Zarco at Le Mans while serving 2 long lap penalties. But that's about it. Every other time he's made it to the finish line, he's taken the win. With 70 wins in the Premier Class, Marquez is now second only to Valentino Rossi's 89, and unless injury gets in the way, 2025 looks like the year he equals Rossi's record of 7 MotoGP titles. Marquez's current run of success with Ducati has Gigi not just thinking about what's happening now, but also looking back. Between 2017 and 2019, Andrea Dovizioso pushed Marquez harder than anyone else. Their 2017 title fight even went down to the final race. But each year, no matter how well Dovi rode, Marquez always came out on top.
Looking back now, the answer seems obvious. Even when Ducati had a competitive bike, Marquez was simply on another level. He could pull off wins that didn't seem possible. As Dovizioso himself said, in the past, he did absurd things. He won races he really shouldn't have. Maybe now he's lost a bit of that, but with his experience, it's more than enough. And now that experience is paired with a bike that doesn't limit him. That combo is dangerous. While 2025 might go down as a year of dominance, Ducati's eyes are clearly on 2026. If they had gone with Jorge Martin for the factory seat, they might still have taken the title this season. But Brno proved something important. Marquez is more than just a guy who racks up points. He's Ducati's safety net. With Pecco struggling and the GP25 showing some clear weaknesses on certain tracks, Marquez gives the team a cushion. He buys time for Gigi and the engineers to figure things out without pressure. And in 2026, when the new MotoGP rules kick in, Marquez could be the deciding factor between Ducati continuing its reign or losing its grip completely. As one analyst put it, this year he's a luxury, next year he's a necessity. Even though Marquez is running the show right now, the fight behind him is heating up. Bezzecchi has brought Aprilia back into contention. Acosta's growing more confident on the KTM. Jorge Martin, now back from injury, looks sharp already at Brno. These are serious threats that Ducati can't afford to overlook. Without Marquez, 2026 could easily turn into a wide-open battle. With him, Ducati stays in control. But not everything is smooth sailing. Pecco has been vocal about his frustrations with the GP25, saying, "Compared to how I felt last year, we've lost something, and the others have improved." Gigi backed that up, admitting everyone else has stepped up their game. So I think it's time to stop thinking about holidays and get back to work. Even though Ducati is on top right now, they know the battle is far from finished. One storyline to keep an eye on is the situation with Fabio Di Giannantonio, his journey from losing his seat to Marquez to landing podiums, and now being mentioned as a possible factory rider for 2027 is one of the most uplifting stories this season, but his spot isn't locked in just yet. Pedro Acosta is reportedly on the radar of Rossi's VR46 team. If that deal happens, Di Giannantonio might once again find himself in a tough position, fighting to stay on the grid. Still, if he keeps putting in strong performances, Ducati might seriously consider pairing him with Marquez, completing a remarkable full-circle moment for the rider they once left out in the cold. What 2025 has really shown is that Ducati didn't suddenly build a better bike. They already had a great one. What they didn't have, and spent years trying to find, was the one rider who could push it past its limits. Now they've got him, and even Gigi, who was once hesitant about bringing Marquez in, is finally saying what's been clear all along. They could never beat him because he was simply unbeatable. Until now, Ducati was always chasing from behind. Now they're out front because they finally put Marquez on their bike. And as Gigi looks ahead to what's next, he's no longer asking how to stop Marc Marquez, he's wondering how long they can hold on to him.